Hello there, my very good friends, and a warm welcome and good afternoons to you. On this video, we're going to talk about the two AEW stars with Backstage Heat.
An injury update on Big Bronson Reed.
I have forgotten my second story. Baron Corbin!
Yes.
What's his next move? We're going to talk about that.
I'm going to tell you the real reason WWE called it a local medical facility. I'm Adam Wilborn.
It's a very important update.
It is indeed.
Stick around.
This is the after news.
Okay, let's kick this one off by talking about two very silly sausages who have backstage heat in AEW at the moment.
And not another one of these stories.
Literally, it seems with this, one of these guys in particular, nothing ever gets started with him in AEW.
No.
It's Roosh and Drolistico, right? So they've been silly. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp was asked about this. It was a Fightful Q&A post on Fightful Select. Some of you said, where are they? Where's Drolistico and Roosh? What's going on? Well, they were in a spot of bother. Apparently, they were supposed to beat the Acclaimed on the 14th of November episode of Collision. And that would have sent them to Full Gear for the tag team title match.
Of course,
right?
yes.
The qualifiers. But there's been some heat on them because after they had this match with Richard Holiday and Alec Price where they won. And apparently afterwards they got physical with Richard Holiday while he was legitimately being checked on by a medic. So they've been silly. Now, look, it's entirely possible and probable that there was some kind of misunderstanding there, right? Yeah. They might have thought that the medic was just working rather than actually working and checking Richard Holiday out. And they might have got the wires crossed, but then you think like a simple apology and a sorry guys, sorry Richard, sorry medic, sorry Tony, sorry everyone. You'd think that would kind of blow that thing over. Right, so maybe if there's still a bit of heat on them, maybe it was a little bit less. What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe it's a bit dumber than that. Yeah. I guess. Either way, it's like Roosh is a very frustrating guy. He's a very frustrating guy.
So much potential.
Because I'm a big Roosh guy.
Yeah.
For a great many reasons. He's a menace backstage in ways that kind of entertain me. And he's a great wrestler. The Danielson match is the one most people would, but his rivalry with LA Park, pre-AEW, and currently actually as well. Sensational stuff. Like, he's great. He conveys a sense of like chaos. He's like this chaotic, violent playboy. It's a really good character.
Great.
It's a really good character. And they just got the thing cooking with Jake the Snake, where he took them on his
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, the Faxi on back. And then nothing comes of it because he attacked Richard Holiday while he was getting seen to by a medic. What an unfortunate pile of rubbish this is.
I think we should have one of those Simpson signs. Like, it's been X amount of days since some backstage heat storyline coming out from either company, to be perfectly honest. But unfortunately, it seems to be AEW quite a lot at the moment. Like you say, this seems like such an easy fix. Yeah. Like, it isn't like they were dangerous in the ring with people, or something happened back. Someone said something backstage and it all kicked off. It was just a case, by the sounds of this, of we're going to beat you down. No. He needs to be actually checked over. Yeah. But I'm going to beat him down. Yeah. It's a simple case of sorry, we got confused here, but starting 2025 off as we. Looks set to continue with this sort of thing.
I've looked it up, right? I just wanted to do a quick check of Richard Holiday to make sure that he wasn't like put out of action or anything. Okay. Right? So he wrestled this match. This was on the 13th of November tapings. He had a match 3 days later where he was in a six-person tag? Yeah. No, a 3-on-2 handicap, sorry, for the NWA. And he's worked a few matches since then. He actually worked most recently on the 4th of January. So it doesn't look like he was injured coming out of this. But then maybe that's not the point. Maybe if I don't know. Just seems like a big mess. It seems like we don't. It's difficult with these things to pass for. Like, everyone wants a really strong judgment on them, but you don't know all of the facts. It's difficult. But if they have done that, knowing that Richard needed to be tended to, that's silly and okay. But if it's just a communication breakdown.
Let's hope we can all get past this, because I'd love to see Dralistico and Roosh, most importantly, back in the ring very soon. I forgot about the Jake the Snake thing.
Roosh just
that
seems...
was a weird thing, wasn't it?
I know, and technically it still exists. It's just you haven't seen it in months because they got heat, apparently. So, there you go.
Clean slate, 2025. Come on, everyone.
Start again. Let's go. CM Punk and the Young Bucks. Make up.
Please, God, we stop talking about this year.
Yeah, just to stop people online from making their entire personality hit.
Yeah, want something different, please, this year.
Come on, flip it up.
But a bit of an injury update now from Big Bronson Reed. He obviously suffered a fracture. We all know he suffered a fracture while wrestling at War Games Survivor Series. Except he didn't, because Bronson Reed went on social media on Sunday to clarify things regarding the dirt sheets. Bloody dirt sheets.
Damn dirt sheets.
Bronson tweeting, let's clear up some things. Dirt sheet report an ankle fracture or injury. Unfortunately, smashed my talus bone completely in half. I know, I had a talus bone.
I've just looked it up. It's a small bone in the foot that connects the ankle to the leg. Okay, there you go. It's like right in there.
I only know really about the metatarsal in the foot.
Yeah, you've mangled that a few times.
I unfortunately smashed my talus bone completely in half. I had it surgically repaired with screws and fragments taken out. Ouch. Also, I had some bone marrow taken from my hip and put into my foot. So he's got a hip in his foot now. That's his big weapon when he comes back.
Santi Cazorla, that, isn't it?
If he hits a haluva kick, that's basically a hip smash to your face going forward. Clarified the status of the injury as well and how much he's going to be out, because I saw some people saying, can't wait to see Bronson at WrestleMania, and I was like, which Mania are you talking about? Yeah, he said, this means I won't be at the Raw Netflix premiere, don't expect a Rumble surprise, and the biggest loss is no Mania. Good for him, because he had such a brilliant end to 2024. He says, please keep up with me on social media at this time. Understand I've got a serious injury, undergone serious surgery, and have serious implications from that. It is not merely a fracture. I'll be honest, merely a fracture is enough to put me out of action for all of 2025. Yep. So not that it really matters, but good clarification from the big man there, and just wish him well in his recovery, because I think, like I say, he was one of the standout surprises of 2024. I kind of thought he was just going to be sort of there in WWE from the moment he moved up from NXT, and then he's just been awesome, and you sense big things whenever he does come back. But yeah, that sounds very painful what he's gone through.
Definitely. So it sounds like the full extent of the injury wasn't communicated to the people who reported it, which is fine. Like, they factually reported that this guy was injured and he's going to be out for a while. Obviously, some of the finer details just didn't make it to press, presumably because they didn't know. So I like that Bronson has come out and explained the full extent of this stuff. It's good. He's very, like, he tweets all the time. He's very open about wrestling stuff, and I quite enjoy him tweeting about giving Ric Flair a tsunami the other day.
He did want to kill him, didn't he?
Yeah. Apparently he wants to kill Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. So there you go. But jokes aside, really misfortunate timing. Unfortunate, not misfortunate. What am I talking about? That's
the new female star that's going to be debuting tonight on Raw.
That's her.
Misfortunate.
She wins all her matches accidentally.
She falls into it.
Whoa! She's a putz. But he was in the middle of this push. He always had the great Heat angle versus Seth Rollins, where he did like 28 tsunamis.
Yeah.
I think they've built up the tsunami as a really potent move, because he's a big dude, and it doesn't look. It's just a splash, right?
Yes.
But it's a big old splash, and the way they frame it, it doesn't look spectacular. It doesn't look pretty, or smooth. It just looks like a massive guy falling on you from a great height. It looks amazing.
I'll hold my hands up, because when he first started doing it on the main roster, I was like, you need to make more of it. You need to climb up to the top rope and be like, here it comes. And then when he just kept hitting Seth with it, and then he just pulls it out all the time, it's like you don't have a second to even think if you're in the match with him. He's like, if he's going up, you're in real trouble.
Definitely. I really like it. I really love when wrestlers have moves that make the most of their size. Like on a heavyweight side, the tsunami, awesome.
Yeah.
I love a Yokozuna Banzai drop. And the various other versions that people have done over the years, like Nia Jax has her version, Rikishi had his version. So like when a big man, like when Gunther was huge, when he was bigger and he was doing splashes, it was like, oh my god! Like
if you've taken to that extent, he's going to kill you.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. But then on the opposite side, I like smaller wrestlers who work to their size as well.
Yeah.
I think that it's really cool when wrestlers work to who they are.
And I also really like when wrestlers can make a move that is, like you say, just sort of kind of part and parcel of a wrestling match feel more impactful. Like,
Definitely.
it's just like, not everyone, but a lot of people do splashes, but this isn't just like, just another like splash. It's a finisher.
Yeah, I think you can, like, if you put the effort in, you can make anything mean.
Yeah.
Mean worthwhile. Like, yeah, I don't like people kicking out of pile drivers as much as the next guy, but at the same time, you could kind of just give like someone a really killer pile driver one week and it would mean something again.
Yeah.
You build it up, you sell it as an impactful, devastating maneuver. It works. Making things mean stuff.
Exactly. That's the most
That's
important thing.
That's what we're all about in life and indeed pro wrestling. Right. Speaking of meaning stuff, I guess, Baron Corbin, his next move might have just been signposted because Fightful Select is reporting interest from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes, love this.
In Tom Pestock, the former Baron Corbin, Nuge, is interested in him. Apparently, they've been in contact, the two sides, but there's no word on how deep those talks are. Baron, Tom, has the Burger Master.
Yes.
Has been backstage in AEW, visiting friends lately. He tweeted the other day, we covered it on here, just like going, hey, I'm a free agent now, let's have a fun year. I like his attitude. I really like his attitude towards this stuff because he's like, come what may, right? Mm-hmm. He's not out here like looking super desperate or anything like that. There's not, if you need a job, you need a job. He seems pretty comfortable with his position. He seems really confident in who he is. And he's probably rich, so that helps.
I think I saw when we talked about this the other day, I think someone said he might own some restaurants or something.
I mean, that seems logical.
He's been in WWE for a long time, so hopefully, he's covered so he doesn't have to do stuff he doesn't want to do straight out the gate. But this is so exciting because we talked about this when we talked about him just the other day, about the fact that I'm genuinely excited to see what he does next. Like, I could easily see him being back in WWE by the end of this year, for example, because I think he's rediscovered, not necessarily even rediscovered, he was just given the opportunity, I'd say, through like tag teams with Bron Breakker and different stuff to remind us, you're really good, you are. Like, he was just sort of a generic heel for so long that you would be like, couldn't care less. And then he reinvented himself in NXT. I think he would be such a benefit to someone like New Japan. I don't know why I didn't think of New Japan when we talked. I was saying like, he could go to TNA and he'd be great in there, obviously. Yeah. But New Japan is a really interesting development for someone like him. And I'm excited. You've seen where's Omos? Noah.
Yes. Yeah, that match was so funny.
They like big lads.
I loved it.
And he's not as big as Omos, but he is big.
Yeah, this is it. I think I'm always in favour of wrestlers going out of their comfort zone a little bit. And like New Japan is a completely different environment to what Baron Corbin has wrestled in, and I'd be interested in seeing what that looks like. I love Omos going to Noah. That match was so funny. It was like I
like seeing all the tweets afterwards of people being like, who the hell's this guy?
I loved it, man. I loved it. I saw one translated tweet. It was like, oh no, he's too big.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
It's like, yes, this is what you want. They booked him like it was 1970 or something, and here's Andre the Giant.
I love it.
Like, this guy's just bouncing off of him and stuff. And Jack Morris, who I'm a big fan of, shout out to the Scottish King, who's his tag team partner in Noah, just did the most. He was like a giddy child, like on the like hamming the heel. He's gonna be in an American promotion within 6 months.
Good.
But yeah, I love big men in Japan just kicking ass.
Yeah, Baron Corbin, the former Baron Corbin, I should say. Tom, I think, is going to do great stuff if he does end up in New Japan. But it is a really exciting year for someone like him.
For sure. Can learn some new things and evolve.
Mess some people up. Maybe even, Andy, send them to a local medical facility.
Ooh,
that's what we all call it. It's a hospital. But the big question that we've all wanted to know the answer to is, why on earth did they use that stupid term in WWE when Vince was in charge? Well, JBL on Something to Wrestle seems to have clarified this. And the reason is, unsurprisingly, ridiculous. JBL talking about this said, I never understood it. Vince wanted to keep things on a more cerebral level. I think that was the reason for the medical centre. He didn't want people to call the hospital. He didn't want people to say, he's at the Baltimore hospital, because they'd call the hospital. If you say at a local medical centre or a local medical facility, you have no idea where they went. You have plausible deniability, which would be fine if there wasn't there boatloads of calls to like the police when Vince died on that episode of Monday Night Raw. And people know what it's code for. Yeah. Local medical centre, what could that possibly? It means the hospital. He's not going to a vet, for example, to get his broken leg fixed or whatever it may be. Yet another trip down the weird, and I was going to say wonderful, not wonderful, just weird, mind of Vince McMahon.
What on earth is going? Like, who? What does he think? I'm at a loss for words for this. Me too. It's so dense, it's unbelievable. Mind you, when they did the limo exploding angle, the soon-to-be president of the United States thought it was a shoot as well. Did. So, maybe people think these things are shoots still. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Like, I appreciate keeping kayfabe sometimes, and don't just say, hey, I've gone somewhere and got checked over, it's fine. But, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, phoning up. Mind you, there was when MJF told that story about the car accident and his partner and all of that stuff a year or two ago, there was talk that people had phoned up the local police station and gone, hey, did you hear about this? MJF kind of crimes.
What must that be like as a police officer? You busy enough.
It's a fake wrestling
show.
What? Yeah.
This was on telly?
What's going on?
Hello? Yeah, I'd like to report a kidnapping. Yeah, it's the Mafia guys on NXT. It happened on Tuesday night.
I've just seen,
specifically for 2 hours.
They threw a guy off a bridge. This guy, Heidenreich, he dragged this poor Michael Cole into a bathroom. I don't know what happened.
How far do people take it? Hello, yeah, I'd like to report a robbery. Yeah, he cheated to win the world title. So can you look into that? Get your detectives on that one? There is video footage. No, I don't know why the referee didn't check it over. I guess that's going to be explained next week. I'll call you next week. Bye.
It's so funny, and that's why when wrestling gets a bit insane and they try and kill people, it's
yes.
Like when there was an old Progress show and Jimmy Havoc has done some terrible things, but there was an angle where Jimmy Havoc swung at Will Ospreay's head with an axe, and there's the Berserker used to swing his sword at people in WWE. There's all kinds of examples of stuff like this.
Poor little detective. Yeah, boss. Yeah, I've been looking into that thing you told me about. Where I think it was an attempted murder of Bryan Danielson. Yeah, I've just seen him. He's been on the press conference for all. I think he's fine. Can we dismiss this case now? Or?
Yeah, it's Athena got clogged in the head with a straight up an incredible baseball bat shot at the weekend.
Hello, yeah, obviously, yeah. I'm really worried about this lady. She can't remember that she actually used to work for this promotion. Yeah, she's been world champion, but she's greeting people like it's. She's just said she's all elite. She's been there for years. Yeah. I think you might need to go and check her over. Send her to a local medical facility. Look, it's a load of bollocks. We all know what it means. But Vince, in his own stupid head, thinks, well, that makes sense to me, so it makes sense to everybody. It doesn't.
Yeah, nothing makes sense.
No.
And I guess, what's the next logical step from this? People phoning up the police to go, excuse me, officer, my favourite wrestler is not being booked well by Tony Khan. Yeah. So I would like you to investigate.
Business malpractice.
Yeah. It's a disgusting promotional tactic that FTR are not on TV more often.
You know what else? It's just a load of bollocks, isn't it?
It's
tired of talking about this. It doesn't make any sense. You know what does make sense, though?
Yeah.
The fantastic merch.
Oh! Nice.
Swerve. For
global shipping. International.
It's cold. You want to keep yourself warm with a wonderful hoodie, which is genuinely. We've sold some tat in the past. This is really good stuff.
Yeah, we used to sell garbage. Not anymore.
You're on your coffee game in 2025. The mugs are brilliant. There's all different logos and stuff on there. Go and check it out. WhatCulture.com/shop. And whilst you're doing that, if you want something to watch or listen to in the background, you can do both. It's up to you.
Watch
preferably, because it's right here.
This is, we're talking about Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
He's back, baby. Yep.